Now all of you see this question. Here there are two blocks. One is resting over a frictionless table. Here there is no friction. Okay. And other is hanging. You have to find the tension in the cord which is connecting to these two blocks as well as acceleration of the system. Now this type of questions I have explained in the video, but you see once again. Here if you see that if you pull this body in downward direction, what will happen? Both will travel equal distances in a given time. If it is going 1 meter down in a given time, it will move 1 meter ahead in that time. It's clear that the distance traveled by bodies will remain same. It's clear. Now see here. So since the distances moved by the bodies are same, therefore what will happen? They will have the same acceleration as well as the same velocity. But suppose if it is like this, if it is moving 2 meter and this is moving 1 meter, then what will happen? Its acceleration, its velocity will be half of this. But here both are moving same distances in a given time. So let the tension is T. And there will be a uniform tension from here to here. It is not that in this part it is T1 and in this part it is T2. And why? Because both are, it is a single string. It is the same string. It's clear. Therefore, tension will remain same. Now, secondly, this system will move in what direction? So it will move in downward direction here. Here, this block will move in this. Now we will make free body diagram. Free body diagram of 6 kg. What is the meaning of free body diagram? Means we will make the body free from the other body and then show all the forces acting on the body. So you can see here for 6 kg block. This is the 6 kg block. Its motion is in horizontal direction. Therefore, no need to show its weight and normal reaction. Since the motion is in horizontal direction on a smooth surface, therefore, there is no need to show weight and normal reaction. We don't show weight and normal reaction if the body is moving horizontally over a smooth surface. If the surface is rough, then definitely we will show this. It is clear. So now you can see here how many forces are acting on this 6 kg body. So only one force is acting, that is the tension. That is the tension. It's clear. Now by using this relation, F equals to m into A, which is the mathematical form of Newton's second law of motion. Mathematical form of Newton's second law of motion. We will write its equation of motion. Write its equation of motion. So see here, what will be its equation of motion? What is the net force acting upon it? It is T, because no force is acting in this time. Net force acting upon it is T. What is its mass? Mass is 6. What is acceleration? Acceleration we have assumed A. So T equals to 6 into A. This is the equation 1. Now free body diagram of 4 kg. Here this is a 4 kg block and it is hanging. Here its direction of motion is this. So now we will show its weight. Its weight will be, weight equals to m into g. So what will be the weight here? It is 4 into g. G you can take 9.8 or 10 g. Tension is acting upward. Tension is acting upward. And it is moving in downward direction. So see here, two forces are acting upon it. 4g in downward direction, t upward and moving downward. So which force will be bigger? This will be bigger or this will be bigger? So it is very obvious that 4g will be bigger than t, because then only it will move downward. Then only it will move downward. So what will be the net force acting upon it? Net force acting upon it will be 4g minus t. Why 4g minus t? Because both the forces are acting in opposite direction. This net force will be equals to its mass multiplied by acceleration. Mass is 4, acceleration is e. It's clear? So now we will solve equation 1 and 2. When you will solve equation 1 and 2, so you can see here, you substitute here t equals to 6 into t. Minus t plus t cancel. 4g equals to 10a. So what will be a? A equals to 4g upon 10. 4g upon 10. This will be the a. If you substitute here, you substitute the value. So I'm substituting the value, it will come out how much? A equals to 4 into g, you can take 10. I have taken g equals to 10. So it will be equals to 4 meter per second square. It is equals to 4 meter per second square. This is clear? Now what will be the tension? So tension you can find by using this relation. So what will T? T equals to 6 into A, that is 6 into 4, that is equals to 24 Newton. 24 Newton. So it is one case. Now there is one more question in which two blocks are hanging from a pulley. You can see here. This is also from the other book. Here it is a rigid support from which a pulley is attached. It's clear. In one side, there is a block of 5 kg, and in the other side, there is a block of 10 kg. This is 5 kg and this is 10 kg. You have to find the here pulley is massless as well as the string is also massless. There is no friction anywhere. There is no friction here. You have to find the acceleration of each block and tension. So acceleration of both the blocks will be same. Acceleration of both the blocks will be same. It will not be different. Why? Because both will move equal distances in a given time. So we have assumed that let the acceleration is A and tension in the string is T. It's clear. Acceleration of both blocks will be same. Will be same. So see here, this is the bigger mass and this is the smaller mass. Therefore, it will move downward and it will go upward. Here in this side, it will go upward. You make the free body diagram of 5 kg. So it is very simple. This is the 5 kg mass. Its weight will be 5 into g in downward direction. Tension will be in the upward direction. What is its direction of motion? It is this, moving with this acceleration in upward. Which force will be bigger? So T will be bigger because moving upward. So what will be the net force? T minus 5g equals to its mass. Mass is 5, acceleration is 5 into T. This is one equation. Now you can see free body diagram of 10 kg. of 10 kg. So this is its weight is 10 g, tension is upward T, and moving down, therefore 10 g will be bigger. So what will be the 10 net force? 10 g minus T equals to 10 into E. It's clear. Now this is the second equation. You add side by side. When you will add side by side, you write this equation here. T minus 5g equals to 5t. On adding side by side, this will be cancelled. 5g equals to 15a. So what is a? 5g upon 15, that is g upon 3, that is 10 upon 3 meter per second square. We have taken g equals to 10. And once you have determined g, you substitute in any one, you will get the value of t. It's clear? Value of t. Now there is one more question which is based on law of conservation of momentum. What is law of conservation of momentum? Conservation of momentum. According to it, if external force acting on the system is zero, if no external force acts on a system, then its total momentum will remain conserved. Total momentum will remain conserved means there will be no change in momentum. Momentum will remain conserved. P will be conserved. It's clear. Here, the question which I am going to take, it is based on the recoiling of the gun. So as you know that before firing, gun and bullet both are at rest. Gun and bullet both are the part of the same system. Part of the same system. It's clear. Here this is the gun and this is the here bullet. This is the bullet and this is the rod which is attached with the trigger. It's clear. So before firing, total momentum is zero because this is static. This whole thing is static. It's clear. So when you will do the firing, what will happen? This rod will collide with the bullet. This gun will exert a force on the bullet, and bullet acquires a momentum in the forward direction. Bullet acquires a momentum in the forward direction. But the force which gun is exerting on the bullet, the force which this rod is exerting on the bullet, this is a internal force. This force is internal force. Therefore, momentum will remain conserved. Momentum will remain conserved means bullet is acquiring some momentum in this direction. What will happen? Gun will also acquire the same momentum in opposite direction. Both will acquire same momentum in opposite direction. Bullet acquires in the forward direction, gun acquires in the opposite direction. So you can see here, this is a question. A bullet of mass 0.1 kg. What is the mass of the bullet? Mass of the bullet is 0.1 kg. Emerges from a gun with a velocity v. It is, what is the velocity of the bullet? It is given 100 meter per second. If the mass of the gun is 50 kg, its mass is 50 kg, then what is the recoil velocity of the gun? Means you have to find the recoil velocity of the gun. It's clear. So see here, as force exerted by, we will mention this thing, force exerted by gun on bullet is a internal force. is a internal force. Therefore, from law of conservation of momentum, total momentum before collision, before firing, equals to total momentum after firing. What is the total momentum before firing? It was 0. After firing, bullet acquires momentum in this direction. This direction I have taken positive. Therefore, this will be negative. This direction will become negative. It's clear? So, see here. What is the total momentum in the forward direction? Total momentum in the forward direction, this momentum of this will be 0.1 into 100. It's clear? Momentum acquired by this in the backward direction, it will be equal to minus 50 into Vg. So you can see here 50 into Vg equals to, it is 10. It's clear? So what is Vg? It is 10 upon 50. That is 1 upon 5. So it will be 0.2 meter per second. It will be 0.2 meter per second. It's clear? So this is one question on the law of conservation of momentum. On law of conservation of momentum, this is. Now see here. Now you see question number 20 from your book. Question number 20 from your book. A ball moving with a momentum of 15 kg meter per second strikes a ball 60-degree angle. First you see another question here. Not this. You see this question. Question number 18. A 10-gram moving body is acted upon by a force. Here mass is given 10 gram. Acted upon by a force of 10 Newton. For how much time? 3 microseconds. 3 microseconds, that is 3 into 10 to the power minus 6 seconds. It's clear? Compute the impulse and change in velocity. You have to find impulse and change in velocity. How will you find impulse? So as you know that impulse equals to how much? Impulse equals to, this is equals to F into T. F into T, that is 10 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 6. That is 3 into 10 to the power minus 5 Newton second. Then change in velocity. So as you know that impulse equals to delta P, change in momentum, which is equal to m into delta V. So what will be change in velocity? Change in velocity will be equals to impulse upon mass. So it is equals to 3 into 10 power minus 5, and mass is given in gram. So you convert it in kilogram, 10 upon 1000. That is 1 upon 100 kg. 1 upon 100, so it will be equals to 3 into 10 power minus 3 meter per second. It's clear? 3 into 10 power minus 3 meter per second. Now see here. Then here there is one question, question number 19. A hammer weighing 1.5 kg is moving at a speed of 10 meters per second. Strikes a nail, driving it into wooden block. Now see here, this is the wooden block and this is the nail. Hammer is this. This is the hammer. This. So when it strikes to it, it is striking with this speed. Striking with this speed. It's clear? When it is striking with this, it is striking with this speed. Now see here. Now here driving it into a wooden block, the duration of the impact means the force which it exerts is for 0.005 seconds. Find the average impact force and the distance of penetration of the nail into the block means how much distance it has penetrated into the block, means here it will penetrate by this much distance. So this distance you have to determine. It's clear. This distance you have to find by how much distance it has penetrated inside the wooden block. It's clear. So first you have to find the average impact force. So how will you find the average impact force? So you can see here. Now this is having initial velocity of 10 meters per second. And when this bullet is embedded up to this point, what will happen to its velocity? Its velocity will become 0. Why its velocity will become 0? Because now it is not going further down. It is not going further down. Therefore, velocity of the hammer will become 0. So what is the initial momentum of the hammer? Initial momentum of hammer. Hammer, that will be Pi equals to, it will be equals to mass into velocity. Mass is this, velocity is 10. That is 1.5 into 10. That is 15 kilogram meter per second. 15 kilogram meter per second. What is final momentum? Of hammer. Final momentum will be 0 as it is, this nail is not further embedding in the wooden block. Therefore, final momentum will become 0. So what is the change in momentum? Change in momentum. Delta P equals to here Pi minus Pf. That is 15 minus 0. It is 15 kilogram meter per second. And this momentum changes in how much time? In this time. This momentum is changing in this time. And as we know that Newton's second law of motion, force equals to rate of change of momentum. Okay, rate of change of momentum. Therefore, force exerted by hammer. Exerted by hammer. This is the average impact force. It's clear. So delta P upon delta T. Delta P is 15 upon 0.005. That is equals to 15 triple 0 upon 5. That is equals to 3000 Newton. Then you have to find the distance of penetration. That how much distance it has penetrated. how much distance it has penetrated, means this distance you have to determine. So you can see here, you see here its velocity is how much? V equals to 10 meter per second, because it is striking with 10 meter per second here. Here it is striking with 10 meter per second. Now velocity has become 0. So how much distance it has moved in the downward direction, that you have to determine. So you find the acceleration. Acceleration A equals to F upon M. That is equals to 3000 upon 1.5. That is 30,000 upon 15 equals to 2000 meter per second square. It's clear. So from V square equals to U square minus 2AS. How much is the distance moved by the hammer? So it is 0. U square is 1.5. No, not 1.5. 10 square minus 2. A is given 2000 into S. So it will be equal to S equals to 100 upon 4000. That is 1 upon 40 meter. 1 upon 40 meter, that is 1 upon 40 into 100 centimeter. That is 2.5 centimeter. This is the distance moved by the hammer. And same will be the distance by which nail embedded in the wooden block. Therefore, distance by which nail is embedding in block, it is equals to 2.5 centimeter. This is 2.5 centimeter. Now there is one more question on the last, on the this formula. Force equals to delta P upon delta T. So you can see here. Now question number 16. A machine gun of mass 5 kg fires 30 bullets. Machine gun, it is of mass 5 kg. And it is firing how many bullets? 30 bullets. Each of mass 50 gram in 1 minute. It's clear. With a speed 400 meter per second. What force must be exerted to keep the machine gun in position? It's clear. So it is same in the same as this. Now see here, from law of conservation of momentum, the total momentum acquired by the bullet in the forward direction will be equal to the total momentum acquired by the gun in the backward direction. It's clear? Because total momentum before firing is 0. So after firing it will also be 0. After firing it will become 0 only when both are acquiring same momentum in opposite direction. Bullet and gun both are acquiring equal momentum in opposite direction. So see here, first you find out the change in momentum of the bullet. Change in momentum of bullet. A bullet in 1 minute. So it will be equal to change in momentum of bullet. It will be equal to how much? Here each bullet is of 50 gram and moving with this. So what is the momentum of one bullet? It is equal to 50 upon 1000 into 400. 50 upon 1000 it is mass into velocity 400. This is the change in momentum of one bullet. It is clear? Because initially it was 0. Initially it was 0. After firing, momentum has become this. Now, how many bullets have been fired in 1 minute? So it is 30. So it will be this. So you can cancel all the zeros. It will be 12, 5 just 60. This is 600 kilogram meter per second. It's clear? So the same momentum will be acquired by the gun also. Therefore, momentum acquired by the gun, change in momentum of gun, it will be equal to 600 kg meter per second of gun in 1 minute. In 1 minute. This is from law of conservation of momentum. So what is the force exerting on gun? Exerting on gun. F equals to delta P upon delta T. What is delta P? 600 delta T, 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds. So this is cancelled. That is equals to 10 Newton. It will be equal to 10 Newton. Okay. So now you will do some more questions. It's clear? Tomorrow also we will do the numericals. Similarly, question number 22 is also same as this. You can see here. Question number 22 that we will do roughly here. A 150-gram cricket ball moving with a velocity of 12 meters per second is hit by a bat and turned back at a speed of 20 meters per second. See here, cricket ball is moving in this direction with what speed? 12 meters per second. When it is hit by the bat, it moves in this direction with what speed? With 20 meters per second. It's clear? This is the duration of impact is given, t equals to 0.01 second is given. What is the average force exerted on the ball by the bat? On the ball by the bat. So you can see here, what is the initial momentum of the cricket ball? So it is m into u. M is equals to here 150 upon 1000 into u is 12. This is the question number 22. So this is cancelled. 12 5 ja 60, 180 upon 100, that is 1.8 kilogram meter per second. Now if you have taken this direction positive, then this direction will be negative. So what will be the final momentum of the cricket ball? It will be m into v, but now it will be 150 upon 1000 and velocity you will take minus 20. So this is cancelled. Minus 30 upon 10, that is minus 3 kg meter per second. So what is change in momentum? If you see the change in momentum, delta P, it is Pi minus Pf. 1.8 minus 3. 1.8 minus 3. So it will become 4.8 kilogram meter per second. It's clear? So what is the average force which bat exerts on the ball? Average force which bat exerts on the ball, that will be delta P upon delta T. It's clear? So it is 4.8 and time is given 0.01. So it is 480 Newton. 480 Newton. So in this lecture, I have covered the questions on law of conservation of momentum and on F equals to delta P upon delta T. It's clear. There are two very good questions, 20 and 21, that I will do tomorrow, and then these questions. So